Welcome, Snoozie Fam, to another video where we scour the internet to find some of the weirdest, most wacky dreams out there. You won't want to miss today's episode. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content on dreams, nightmares, and all things sleep. Christmas is a magical time, a time for family and friends to get together and enjoy a cup of hot chocolate by the warm fireplace. However, it's not always so jolly when you have a murderous Santa Claus on the loose. This story is inspired by a user on Reddit, and it's about him having a weird dream about a killer Santa Claus on the loose in the small town of Millville. Now, let the dreams begin. It was a cold and snowy night. Everyone in the town of Millville had been on edge because the murderous Santa Claus was back, and this time with a vengeance. People have been disappearing, or even worse, being killed at an alarming rate ever since the first snowflake fell on Millville in early December. The first ever victim was Mrs. Johnson, a kind old lady who lived down the street. She had always been so generous, always leaving cookies and milk out for Santa every Christmas Eve. But this year, when she went out to check on the treats, she found something far more terrifying waiting for her. It wasn't until her husband, Mr. Johnson, came home late from work at midnight when he found Mrs. Johnson's body opened up like a taco on their kitchen counter. Pieces of her organ had been chewed up and spat out on the floor. After that first incident, the town of Millville was never the same. Just last week, police have found bodies of an entire caroler group mangled and dismembered in front of the town's church. It was a gruesome and horrific sight, to say the least. The police were baffled with no leads or clues to go on. They had never seen anything like this before, and they were at a complete loss as to how to stop these killings. But despite their effort, Santa Claus remained one step ahead. He seemed to know exactly where and when to strike, always disappearing into the night before anyone could catch him. As the body count rose, the town of Millville was thrown into a state of panic. No one knew who to trust, and everyone was looking over their shoulders, wondering if Santa Claus would be coming for them next. I never thought I would be one of Santa Claus's victims. I always believed in the magic of Christmas and the joy that Santa Claus brought to the world. But on that fateful Christmas Eve, I learned that not all traditions are as pure and innocent as they seem. That cold Christmas Eve night, I heard a knock at my front door. I opened it, expecting to see a group of carolers or perhaps a lost traveler in need of help. But instead, I was greeted by the sight of Santa Claus, his eyes glowing with a sinister light, his cheeks rosy, and his red and white suit was covered in the blood of his last victim. As our eyes locked, I tried to scream, but it was too late. Santa reached out and strangled me with his large white gloved hands. His laughter echoed through the empty room. Ho, ho, ho. His grip tightened with every passing second. I could feel the pressure on my eyeballs rise as he continued to hold on. He threw me up against the closet with his grip still on my throat. He lifted me up into the air as my lifeless legs dangled. I remembered thinking to myself how this old fat man could possess so much strength. It seemed like his superhuman strength was magnified by the magic that lived within his plump red belly. As I laid there, struggling to breathe, I knew that I was doomed. I never found out about what happened to the others in the town. All I know is that Santa Claus went on a killing spree, claiming victim after victim. No one was safe, not even the children who had always believed in the magic of Christmas. It wasn't until a group of brave townspeople decided to take matters into their own hands that things began to turn around. They had long suspected that something was off about this jolly old man and had been keeping an eye on him for weeks. One night, as they followed Santa on his rounds, they saw him slip into a secret hidden lair behind a wall of snow. They knew they had to act quick before he could claim another victim and disappear. The group burst into the lair, guns drawn, and found Santa Claus surrounded by the bodies of his victims. He let out a maniacal laugh as they apprehended him, his eyes wild with madness. It was then that they realized the true extent of Santa's depravity. He had been killing for years, driven by a twisted desire to eliminate anyone who had ever wronged him. The trial was swift, and the evidence against Santa was damning. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, where he would spend the rest of his days locked up away from the world. Not even Mrs. Claus or any of his trusted elves can get him out now. And so, the town of Millville learned that even the most beloved holiday traditions can turn into something truly horrifying. They vowed to never let their guard down again and to always be on the lookout for those who seek to harm them. Although Millville encountered an extremely horrific experience, they were able to grow and come out of it even stronger. As I smiled in content that justice had been served to the mad Santa, I opened my eyes and woke up from my dream. I always believed in the magic of Christmas, but this scary dream made me rethink a little bit about how I feel about Santa Claus. Is he really the jolly person we all make him out to be? Or could there be a more dangerous and darker side to him? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click on that notification bell for more amazing content like this. Share this with a friend if you think they may need a little wake-up call. Thanks for watching, and until next time, sleep well.